So here I'm going to go through how to lead and run a sales team effectively, have them working together and actually enter that upward spiral that's allow you to obviously scale up your commission and your revenue generated as a business, as an offer massively. So primarily what I'm going to go over here is four key points. Your mindset as the front man, as the leader of the team, as the tip of that spear, your mindset of your actual team members, that group mindset you want to adopt, the systems and processes and the thinking you have to have in place when building these systems and processes, and then also improving and then getting help on your own skill set and also helping your team. So first off is your mindset as the front man. You always need to be leading from the front. So this means you need to be active. You can't be a sales manager or someone leading a team who's not active, who's getting dull, getting lazy because they're not taking calls, they're just managing. You need to be in the trenches with the cold callers. So what this means is you need to be cold calling alongside them, or you need to be closing for them. You need to be actively involved to build that rapport, build that relationship where it basically means they can trust you because you're a professional, you're sharp, you're competent in what you do. And trust is everything, especially when you're leading a sales team. For them to perform effectively and actually perform to the top of their ability, they need to have trust in you. You need to be professional, you need to be sharp because it all leads to trust. And one of the main points I'm going to go over in this, well, two of the main points actually, is one, it's exactly the same as how you would sell to a prospect. You want to sell to a prospect, you want to be very personalized, very custom to them and make them feel special and emotionally connect to their certain metrics, their certain points, emotionally kind of dig deep with them. And you want to treat your sales team the same way. The emotional points that motivate each person, the goals each person has, you want to bring this into how you train them, how you do one-to-ones with them, and have that personal approach because as you know, when it comes to selling to prospects, when it's personalized, it just hits a lot deeper and it's a lot more motivating, and that's going to lead to more action. And obviously that's the first part, how trust, and you need to have trust because trust allows them to obviously trust you to lead the team, do what you say, listen to what you say, and actually perform effectively. So on top of this, you also have to think in systems and processes, and we will go into this a lot more in the actual page dedicated to that. But for a team to run effectively, you can't be wearing every hat. You need to put systems in place. You need to put processes in place so stuff gets done for you. It's a working machine that has a working output, which is deals closed. And you need to build this machine, understand how it works, understand your role in it, and have your team understand their role in it. So if I go into the mindset of your team, this is arguably the most important thing, and you're the main influencing factor for that. So team attitude, morale, momentum is everything. It's literally everything. It can create an upward spiral, or it can create a downward spiral. The upward spiral is, look, everything's going well, everyone's making money, and that's just going to lead to more hard work because they're motivated by that money. And it's just an upward spiral that keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. On the same side, it's a downward spiral. Negative energy in a group spreads as quick as positive energy, if not faster. So that upward spiral you can actually get into can also happen on the down end. So you've got to keep that in mind, that your momentum, team morale, and how the team are feeling is everything. Because the team needs to be tight knit, it needs to be competitive and loyal. And all these three things, being tight knit, being competitive, and loyal, they all lead into one another. Because if the team's tight knit, that's going to make them competitive. That's going to make them feel comfortable to compete with each other. If they're competing with each other, if they're tight knit, that's going to make them loyal because it's a group of guys that are coming up making money together as a team, and that's everything. That team mentality, it really is everything. Sales isn't something where one person can just take them the whole way through the sales process. You need a team in place that has complete trust from the cold caller to the closer to the delivery. So the cold caller has complete trust in you as a team manager and as a closer to do your job. You have complete trust in them to book qualified meetings in your calendar, and then you have complete trust on that actual delivery side of the service to be fulfilled. And then one-on-one personalization with the training. So this is what I mentioned earlier, when you want to treat it the same way as you're selling to a prospect. You want to personalize your approach to every team member, find out what specifically motivates them, what are their fears, and why are they actually cold calling, what's the goal, and use this information in your training, in your motivation to get the most out of them. And then systems and processes. So this is more of the logical side rather than the emotional training side. And with this, it's just basically to say there's always going to be work to do. When you're managing a sales team, there's always work to do. So you've got to differentiate the high ROI tasks. So in terms of money in and also your time, so high ROI. So the way to do this is you just look at your day and decide what's actually leading to money in, focus in on those areas and delegate the rest. So to do this, you want to set SOPs. So standard operating procedures. Every day, what are your standard operating procedures? Check in with the group, run a huddle, run a training call. What are things you're going to do every day that are part of this process that leads to the outcome of money in? And then team SOPs. Do the guys have to do a daily report to you? Do they have to send a daily call review to you? What are the team standard operating procedures for them to do every day? And then you build these standard operating procedures out to make your machine run properly. So the machine is running, the machine's in place, you've got these systems in place, and the thing that's making it tick over every day is people following the standard operating procedures. And if they follow that, the machine's going to work as intended and have the output of, okay, clients closed, revenue generated, commission to all salesmen. And once you understand and craft the perfect system, it does take optimizing, it does take mixing a few things in here and there. But once you have the perfect system, you've got cold callers who are doing their job, they're booking qualified meetings, they have complete trust in the closer to close those meetings. We've got post call sales assets be sent out. We've got a fucking optimized website, optimized VSL. Once we've got this perfect sales system, all we have to do from there is replicate it. And if we build the system, build the process, and have SOPs, it's so easy to replicate because we know what we did right. And we can just repeat these SOPs and scale up from there. And improving and help. So this is a bit about that one-to-one personalized training when it comes to, you want to review your own actions, how you're managing the team, how professional you are, how sharp you are. Review your own actions from an external perspective. So review your own actions, how you would review one of the team members. So this is just going to make sure you stay as the front man, as the leader, you stay on top. You don't get lazy, you don't slack. You're the tip of the spear. You need to be sharp at all times for the team to trust you and for you to operate effectively. Personalized one-to-one training, as I mentioned, the training needs to be one-to-one. You need to know what motivates them, why they're cold calling, what's the actual goal with it, and use this information to get the most out of them. Review calls, build specific training based off that. So the way you should be training, the way I train my teams, and just the way I believe training should work in general, not just for sales, for everything in life. Make people put in the action, then review the action, analyze the action, and then improve on that. So have them make cold calls, have them run the numbers, and then review these calls, review all of them, and then build specific training based off that. Okay, does this cold caller specifically need help with the first 30 seconds of the call? Does this cold caller need help with the information, the question and discovery part of the cold call? Does this cold caller need help with the actual converting them into a book meeting? Where does this guy specifically need help? And do personalized training based on that to get the most out of each guy. And obviously mindset training as well. You want to know their specific goals, what motivates them, the emotional side of things, to bring that emotional motivation in there, and then help them enjoy and understand the game of sales. Sales, especially when you're cold calling, is not fun. But you've got to allow the team to see that light at the end of the tunnel, to see them, have them understand, okay, this is a fucking step on the ladder. It's a step on the ladder that's going to last 3 to 6 months, me grinding 200 cold calls a day. But it's just a step in stone to get to the next level of closing, and help them understand and just enjoy the progression, enjoy the process, enjoy the trench work, and just have them understand if they put in the trench work now, if they put in their all into cold calling, they're going to get money. Obviously, commission's going to come in, but they're also going to get these higher leverage positions of closing and reach that light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of guys, which is going from a cold caller to a closer. So here is the outcome. So cold callers will be operating at 100% efficiency. So there's a lot of salesmen out there. Like, to be honest, you'd think there's a lot of shit salesmen out there with most of the guys you see online, but there's a ton of great salesmen. But most of them are operating at 50% efficiency. So they're going to be earning 3K a month commission. That means on a 10% commission rate, that means they're only generating the business 30K revenue. But then you've got decent salesmen, and these decent salesmen have great team managers. They've got great sales managers who do one-to-one training with them. They're personalized training. They actually care about their growth. And as a result of your team manager, your sales manager caring about your growth, you're going to become a lot better. You're going to put more effort and attention in, and you're going to become a better cold caller and operate 100% efficiency, making as many calls as possible per day. And even though you're a worse cold caller than that great salesman, if you have the work ethic and you operate at 100% efficiency, you can see there 6K commission doubled just because they're operating at 100% efficiency there. And obviously the other outcomes I mentioned. So upward spiral of growth, commission, revenue generated, and the effort you put in as a team manager. So actually one of the greatest things about being a sales team manager is the more effort you put in the beginning, the more you build out these systems and these processes, actually removes the work you have to do, because you delegate jobs. You have these machines built where the input from you is minimal and you're just overviewing these systems and they work effectively. But the only way to do that is build them out and actually be very involved at the beginning, put in a lot of man hours at the beginning for minimal return. And then once the foundations are in place, once the systems are built, that's when you can slowly delegate tasks, slowly remove yourself, and it's going to run itself if the system is working correctly, if you built it correctly and delegated correctly. And obviously, for all of this to work, you need trust and you need a strong team connection and competition. And the foundation of a strong team connection is just trusting each other. So that strong team connection and competition is just going to add to the efficiency and how well your cold callers are actually cold calling, making calls, and booking meetings. So a lot of this, guys, is the logical side of things, understanding the numbers you have to make, the training, actually giving them the skills to make the calls. But a lot of it is emotional, understanding their goals, understanding personally why they're doing this, why they're cold calling, and then giving them training based off obviously the skill set where they need to improve their skills, but also the mindset training to give them that motivation, give them that boost to make sure they are cold calling at 100% efficiency. They're working their hardest. Because all the guys you probably have on your team right now, I promise you, all of them could be a great cold caller. All of them could make you a lot of money if they were working at 100% efficiency. So you need to give them the man training, the man management to actually call at 100% efficiency and do to the best of their ability, cold calling, making you money, making themselves commission, and then everyone wins. But it's that real personalized training that needs to be there for someone to operate at 100% efficiency. And if you put in the work, and you do put in the work to trading and building out systems, life on the other side, once the systems are in place, once everything's delegated, is very nice. You just have to get to that point.